amazing group of people. I'm just looking at these graduates. I see all the designations on your ribbons. I see both that graduated summa cum laude. Make some noise.
Yeah.
I see cum laude. I just want to know, family and friends and graduates, how many of y'all just graduated? Thank you, Laude. I'm just glad I'm glad I made it.
Like your mama.
Today I want to just invite you to join me in living life to give to others. You know, Dr. King once said that life's persistent and most urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And I wonder if today I can encourage you to live every day looking for the person whose life could be changed by simply connecting with you. You graduates, as well as your family and friends, we all know that there's been somebody in our life that has changed our life. There's been someone in our life that's changed the direction, the trajectory, the paradigm of our lives, and we are different because of the connections that we have made. I want to remind you all as you graduate today that what you've been given is more than just a tool to make money, more than just a tool to get a job, even though I want you to have all of those things. But there's something greater that looms in the sky for you, because what you've been given is a tool to connect with others and help change the lives of other people. The term sometimes that comes to mind is transactional. So many people are transactional. They live their lives for what they can get from someone else, what they can receive from someone else. And most people live that way out until it no longer works for them, and they drop that person and go on to the next person and find somebody else that they can get something for. But I want to challenge you today to live your life different than that transactional, shallow life, that narrow life, but to live a broad life where you don't live for what you can get for others, but you live for what you can give to others. You don't just live for what you can receive, but you live for what you can distribute to others. Because I believe that you are a tool in the hands of the divine so that people's lives can be changed. And for many of you who have graduated today, you never thought you could do this, but you did. People said you'd never do it, but you did.
Yeah.
There were times you doubted yourself.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Some of you, I've seen your tears already because you never imagined you'd get to this moment. It's somewhat surreal for you, but you got here. Now, if you got here, I believe that you and I then have an obligation to take what we've been given and distribute that to other folk who may be like you, who don't think they can do it either, but when they see you, they'll know they can. Who don't believe in themselves, but when they meet you, they'll start to believe in themselves. Who figure, I'll never be the person to graduate or complete anything, but when they meet you and they hear your story, it will change their story, because your success becomes their step to their own success. Today, I just want to remind you 2 or 3 things. Number one, always be aware of who's on your path. Don't live for just yourself and wake up in the morning, what will I do for me? But be cognizant of the people that you run into. The person that may need just a kind word, or may need someone to share with them your success. That person that's looking for help and they don't even know it, and they come along your path every day. Have this awareness in your own heart that this is a day that I may run into somebody who it's been planned since the beginning of time for me to meet that person. Don't just live for yourself. And listen, when I say this, don't just live for success by materialism. Don't just think of all your success as based on what you have, what you own, what you've got, what I can get from other people. Now listen, I'm not saying don't get you some nice stuff. I'm not saying that you can't have nice stuff. I'm just saying don't let the stuff have you. Don't let the stuff control you. Don't let the car or the clothes or whatever. Don't let that control your life. But live a life that's bigger than that. Live a life that's greater than that. Live a life that has more depth than that. Because here's what I believe. When you become that kind of woman or that kind of man who uses wealth for the good of others, you become someone who can be trusted with greatness. You become that person that can be trusted, because now life is no longer just about you, but it becomes about those that you can help. and bring it home. And so then, friends, you become not just a reservoir, you know what that is. It's just a container that you put water into. But you're not a reservoir, you're a river. It flows into you, and then it flows out of you into the lives of others. And here's the beauty of that. Someone said, hey, whiffing. You ever heard of that phrase, whiffing? What's in it for me? Let me tell you what's in it for you. When you're a river and it flows through you, listen, it can't flow through you until it flows to you. And so when you become a river, when you become that person in life that other people get blessed by, encouraged by, helped by, you better believe that you'll never be without. It'll always come to you. It'll always work out for you.
Yes, my God. Well, am I in church or what? I think I'm in church.
Or did I get a raise? Or did I get a bigger commission? But who did I touch today? Steve Maraboli said that a kind gesture can reach a wound in a person's life that only compassion can heal. Your history, did you know that your history can be used to determine future decisions? Let me say a word or a phrase, and it might be like a curse word to some of you all. Credit report. A credit report is not racist. A credit report is not sexist. A credit report is simply data as to how you paid your bills in the past. And so the reason they ask for that credit report when you come to get your next car or to get a loan or to buy a home or even to rent an apartment, they ask for a credit report because they have determined by certain algorithms that how you have behaved and how you've paid in the past is a great indication of how you will probably pay in the future. This is as quiet as you all have been. So. I do, yes. I made you trip when I said credit report. You thought about all kind of negative stuff. Come back. Because here's what I'm telling you. Many times when you in life get an opportunity, when you in life get blessed with something, there's a record being kept of what you did with it. Did you share it? Did you help somebody? Because the next time you ask for something, whether you believe in prayer or you believe in faith or whatever it is that you believe in, whoever you talk to or pray to or expect good things from, I just want to remind you that the next time you ask for something, there's a record of what you did with the last thing that you got. And so you might want to think about every day doing something good with the gifts that you've received, because that may have a whole lot to do with the next gift that you get.
I'll go that way. That's closer.
So that when I am in need,
so you remember which way to come back?
And I have a good track record.
Right straight across from the door.
That the last time I got something, I didn't just use it on me, but I used it to help someone else. I need you to be aware of the folk on your path. And then plan your schedule around purpose. Think about your schedule in terms of what's my purpose in life? What's my purpose where I'm working? What's my purpose with my family? And then plan your schedule around that, because you recognize that your time is not your own. There's a place in the Psalms where it says that you saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. And what that simply means is that everybody's living life according to a plan that was set out before you got here. Now, if you're anything like me, one of the first things I'm going to do when I get to heaven is I want an appointment with the planning department. Because there's a whole lot of stuff happens to me. I'm thinking, you planned that, really? That's what we're doing today? But ultimately, there is a plan for your life. And wherever you are, there is a particular plan and purpose for the time that you're in. And so there may be times you're thinking, I wish I was somewhere else. I wish I was doing something else. But don't miss that place that you're in at that very moment, because every moment is pregnant with purpose. And if you'll learn how to watch for it, you'll get from that moment the very thing that then prepares you for the next thing that you're doing. Because everything you do, graduates, you know this, everything you do is preparation for the next thing that's coming. The midterm that you didn't want to take, but it prepared you for the final. And the project that you had to do, it prepared you for this day. And even though you hated some of those classes, don't tell them that, but you hated some of those classes, but you finished them. and it brought you to today. Because every moment, even the times that make us unhappy and that we don't like, are pregnant with purpose. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that the purpose of life is not to be happy, it's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. I'm almost done. Can you believe it? I'm almost done. Finally, I want to say to you, let love be your dominant emotion. Learn how to, Mother Teresa said it this way, spread love everywhere you go, and let no one ever come to you without leaving happier than they were when they got to you. This degree you've received, this opportunity, the certifications that you'll now be able to get, the opportunities that have been opened up to you, I'm just asking you, don't let it just be about you, but live every day with this idea that I want to operate in a concern for others. And listen, love doesn't start with other people, love starts with you. You gotta love your big ears, you gotta love your wide nose, and you gotta love your hair. You gotta love who you are. You gotta love who you've been made to be, because it's very difficult to love others if you don't
love yourself.
Love yourself.
Hello.
So I want to remind you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. I want to remind you that you are extravagant in the eyes of the one who created you. I want to remind you that your points for style, beauty, or being handsome don't come from comparisons with other people, but they come from you becoming the best you that you can ever be. I want to remind you that you are wonderful in his eyes, that you are magnificent in his eyes. He saw the greatness in you before you saw it in yourself, that he has made you a wonderful individual. And once you embrace that, then you can operate in that same love for others. You see, ultimately, if you can't love you, who you were created to be, it's going to be difficult for you to love others. But then once you step out of the house, out of the car, into the office, into the shop, into the store, into the studio, once you step into that place, then be that person whose dominant emotion is love, and you pick up on the pain in other people's lives. Be that individual that when you're giving a facial, or when you're taking somebody to x-ray, when you're doing that you pick up on the pain in people's lives. Because that person may need you just to encourage them just a little bit. Be that individual that senses the pain. You know, your ability to be self-aware will help you to also be others aware. How many of you have friends that are not self-aware at all? They don't even know when they're having a bad day. Do you have friends like that? They don't even know when their attitude is bad. I don't know why you're looking at me. I'm fine. I'm happy. Really? If you're happy, you know it. Tell your face. How many of y'all got friends like that? They walk in the room. They don't even realize how moody they are. Don't look at them. Look at me. Just stay right here. I don't want you to get in trouble after I leave. But we have friends like that, and we can be like that sometimes, that we are totally self-unaware. But I want you to be aware of yourself, aware of your own wounds, aware of your own joy, aware of your ups and downs, because becoming aware of you will help you to be more aware of me when I walk into the room. It'll help you be more aware of clients and customers and patients and those who are part of this new business, this new opportunity.